I used to think ghosts were seen by other people, not by me. Until now. My name is Katie, and I work in a travel agency. Yes, they do still exist. I specialise in luxury boutique holidays for clients who want personalised experiences. And I love the work. The discounts help me visit my parents back in the States. The office itself is tiny, tucked in an old brick building just off the high street. The landlord told me it was built in the 1800s, which feels about right. The floorboards creak and the windows rattle when the buses go by. My job is ordinary, predictable, comforting in its way, until one day everything changed. When you sit in the front office, you can see the world go by outside, but it always feels slightly muted, like your life is behind glass. That day, it was like the volume was turned way down. I couldn't hear anything. All I could hear was my own breathing. I was already feeling low. I couldn't travel home for the holidays because we were short-staffed. It was just me that day in the office. I was staring out of the window, watching people with parcels and bags hurry by. The rain was running down the windows in thin, shaky lines. Then it grew heavier quickly. The kind of sudden downpour that sounds like gravel hitting the glass. When the rain really gets going here, it means it. I was never scared before. In fact, I love a good rain shower. But this was different, unsettling. I could only hear the rain. I felt colder. A cold draft brushed the back of my neck, and I turned, expecting the door behind me to be open. It wasn't. But then the actual door did swing open, hard enough to make the bell above it ring. A young woman stepped inside, wearing a rain mac and shaking her umbrella. Long blonde hair and a wary smile. "Hi," I said, standing. "Can I help you?" She hesitated, like she was weighing something, choosing her words carefully. Then she reached into her bag and pulled out a brochure. Glossy, faded, but unmistakably 1980s. Bright neon colours and big hair. Slogans in bubbly fonts. "I was wondering," she said softly, "is this something you offer?" I flicked through it. No modern prices, no contact information that still existed, nor were there QR codes or websites. The paper was starting to yellow around the edges. "I'm really sorry," I said gently, wondering why she would bring me something so old. "We don't run these kind of trips anymore. These companies don't exist now." "Oh," she nodded quickly. "Okay, never mind," and she rose to leave. I tried to offer her one of our safari pamphlets, but she was already out of the door. I shook my head, puzzled. As I turned, I realised she'd left her brochure. Running out into the rain, which was now easing, I couldn't see her anywhere. The crowds had thinned, seeking shelter, but she had gone, like she had slipped into the street and vanished between one heartbeat and the next. I sat down, wrapped my hands around my coffee, and opened the brochure again. Most of the packages were nothing unusual. Corny beach deals, cheap winter sun, family rates. Nostalgic in a way. But near the back there was something else. A full-page advert, thick black border, and a white serif font. No company name, just the title, Dream Escape. And beneath it, trade what you don't want for the holiday you'll never forget. My brows knitted. What kind of slogan was that? Then I read the list. The things you could trade. An evening you'll never get back. Your reflection for one night. An unanswered question. I frowned. It had to be a joke. Some retro marketing attempt from the 80s when everything was strange. And then I noticed something else. The bottom corner of the page had been torn away, just a small scrap missing. The shape of it looked like it had been ripped out quickly by someone's thumb. There were faint indentations in the paper, like a note had once been written there and removed. And then, in the thinnest handwriting, printed almost like it had bled through from another page, "Choose carefully." You only trade once. A cold feeling rippled through me. Not fear exactly, but recognition. Because something about that woman, her odd, careful smile, her old-fashioned clothes under the Mac, the way she vanished into nothing, it all snapped together in a way I couldn't immediately explain. That night, I closed the office alone. The brochure sat on the counter. I should have thrown it away. I told myself that over and over, but I didn't. I kept reading the list, those strange, impossible payments. An evening you'll never get back. Your reflection for one night. An unanswered question. What did that even mean? These might be the kind of things lonely people might give up without thinking. The kind of things someone might trade if they were hurting or grieving, if they were desperate, if they needed a break or an escape so badly they would give anything to feel normal again. I thought of my family, thousands of miles away, the holidays I'd been missing, the ache of homesickness sitting heavy beneath everything I did. And before I even knew what I was doing, my fingertips brushed the page, right where the advert seemed to pull inward like a breath. The lights in the office flickered, just once. But in that heartbeat, the world outside the window went silent again. That same unnatural hush from earlier. I whispered, almost without meaning to, "My reflection?" The brochure warmed beneath my hands. The office phone rang suddenly, and my heart started racing. The phones are automatically diverted after hours. How could someone be calling? Suddenly the speaker on the phone crackled. A faint hiss of static filled the room, the kind old cassette tapes used to make, even though we were digital. Then a voice, hoarse, unrecognisable. 2 words. Contract accepted. The lights flickered again, and behind me, just for a moment, the glass in the office door caught my reflection, except it wasn't my face, and it was smiling, and then it vanished. I never talk about the holiday I took. If those thoughts intrude into my head, I banish them. The office is the same. My work has hardly changed. The floorboards still creak, and the buses still shake the windows. And I never mind the rain. I smile at clients, eager to book their honeymoons, anniversaries, and those once-in-a-lifetime trips. Sometimes, when the office is quiet, I will find a brochure on my desk that I know I didn't order. The paper is heavier than it should be, the colours slightly wrong, and I sigh. I don't offer it to everyone. I know the ones to look out for, the ones who linger, who are looking for something else, something a holiday can't really give them. I always pause carefully to indicate I'm hesitating, that I have something really special, and then I gently slide across the brochure. Their faces light up. This is what they've been waiting for. As they begin to flick through the pages, I already know what they will choose. Thank you for listening, and tune in next week for another story.